Um, what you used the term emotion coaching earlier. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and what it means for parents?
Yeah. So emotion coaching is the idea that instead of us being afraid or infuriated by our children's emotions, we're going to take that moment to tune in with them and help our children recognize what's happening for them. Our emotions are very physically based in our body, right? There's a lot of stress hormones and things that are part of that. And it's a very overwhelming experience. For us adults, sometimes it's hard to figure out how we're feeling. And now imagine for a child how overwhelming that is to have your adrenaline pumping and to not be quite sure why you're raging out or feeling so overwhelmed. So we parents know our kids better than anyone, and we can take that moment to try to give them some language to use. I think there's an urge for us to ask our kids, how are you feeling? Why are you upset right now? But when you're overwhelmed, being peppered with questions is even more overwhelming, and they may not even have an answer for that, right? Even in their best moments, they may not have an answer. So emotion coaching is the idea that we're going to provide some language that they can use or they can reject. And we're going to stay with that moment and try to validate and make our child feel understood and seen. And that even if we don't agree or see things the same way as them, we accept that that's the reality they're having, right? So your child has a complete meltdown. I'm trying to think of one from my kids' experiences. They thought they were going to get to sit in a certain seat at the table, and then somebody else took that seat. And I feel as a parent, this is ridiculous. Come on. All the chairs are the same. Can we just move on? But
Yep.
my child is stuck. My child is not able to move on. Instead of me going into shaming mode, which is an urge to go, get it together. This is not a big deal. There's no reason for you to be this upset. I can go into emotion coaching of, it looks like you are really set on sitting in that chair. And I can imagine this is really disappointing that somebody else took your chair. I can relate. I can remember times that I had a plan and somebody made a different choice for me. It is really disappointing. And now my urge is to say, but get in
Right,
that
right.
chair, move on, right? But I can just let that sit for a minute instead of trying to direct and control, right? So my child may say, I'm not disappointed, I'm mad, right? And that's great. Okay, we can work with that. You're really mad. This feels unfair. This is really frustrating. We can keep supplying them with words. And what we'll find is we're not always going to solve the original problem with emotion coaching, but it's a relief to feel like somebody understands you and sees your reality. So often this takes some of the fire out of the moment with them. I think we can all relate as adults to how good it feels to talk to somebody about a difficult thing and have them go, gosh, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. That sounds infuriating. Rather than going, well, why don't you just do XYZ, right? And when our child feels understood, that opens the door for them to be ready to solve the problem together. And I can then extend that offer. Let me know if you want to work together to find a solution, or, pose to them, how would you like to handle this?
Mm, right.
And do some problem solving with them.